Many times people do wonder and they ask that what is the advantage and benefit of being in a spiritual path? What is the benefit of following spirituality? They even if they know that there is something called soul which exists because the word is talking about it, they may not have had the experience of soul, and hence they may not understand the entire word of or realm of soul, which is spirituality. The parallel question or a doubt which people also seldom has is that what is the proof that there is soul, and if there is soul, does it really move from one person to another? So for sure it exists, and there are two quick proofs that I can quickly mention, which does not require any research or reading of any scripture, and which we see every day when we focus, then we question, and then we get the answer that yes, it exists. So the first proof that perhaps there is something called reincarnation or soul is the fact that imagine that you see an infant, a newborn baby, which is just about, let's say, 1 day old or about a week or a month old. Sometimes you would have wondered, you would have seen that such a young child while sleeping is also smiling sometimes. Yeah. So imagine a 1 day or 10 days old child who has had no experience in this life to have understood any joke or a funny visual. Then why would this infant during sleep will be found smiling? So crying is okay. Maybe if the infant is crying, it's okay. Maybe there is some pain or a problem that he's experiencing or she's experiencing, but why a smile? So smile is a reason that this is obvious. I mean, you don't have to get convinced because I am saying it, but even if you question your own self and introspect, you would find that the only reason why somebody at this age will smile is because there is some memory which is definitely not of this life, but of some previous lives that the infant is currently experiencing. Yeah, let this sink in. Hold this thought and question yourself that what could be the other reason. So if this is the right answer, and if you're getting a bit convinced, then it is a proof that yes, there is something which gets moved from the previous life to the new life, and hence the child is smiling. Now, so if there is reincarnation, there is something which got copied from the previous life to this life, and that is called, it can have various names, soul, consciousness. Primarily, I would say these two things. Now, the second question which is parallel to it, that what is the advantage or benefit of following a spiritual life? What is the advantage of knowing all this theory in the realm of soul and consciousness? So, to answer that and to understand that, imagine, not necessarily now that we have to imagine, after we have understood what we just spoke about, we are made of three components largely, which is body, mind, and soul. So body, as we know, mind is the mind which is receiving various stimulus from our external environment, and then it processes the information and the body reacts to whatever mind perceives through the sensory organs. Yeah. So body, mind, and now soul. How do we identify soul, or how do we segregate soul from all this combination of body, mind, and soul? So mind and soul are like, just imagine there are two thin sheets of polythene or cellophane which are glued and stuck with each other completely. Yeah, they're so glued and thin, and they're so stuck with each other that it is not possible to identify for a human eye, not possible to identify that there are actually two layers and not just one. So soul and mind is something similar. It is so interwoven and interconnected and close and glued with each other that throughout life, if we do not pay enough and focused attention to it, we may not even realize that there is possibility to see mind and soul separately, where actually it is the soul which can see the mind from a distance. So in the spiritual path, when we take the spiritual path, this combination of these two thin layers start to separate from each other. So one layer, which is soul, starts to get separated from mind, so much so that the soul starts to see mind from a distance. And when the distance increases, soul can clearly identify that, okay, there is this mind which is at a distance, which is experiencing various emotions, thoughts, feelings. And in this situation, soul, which is the divine gift, starts to observe and monitor and also operate mind as per the will of the soul, not the other way around. So imagine these two layers getting separated. These are actually mind and soul. And when they get separated, soul has the capability to watch mind from a distance, monitor, maneuver, and become the master of the mind instead of the other way around. And when we start seeing these emotions, which mind has, in fact, various emotions, which are about 27, largely. One of the recent reports from the very famous university from Berkeley University in US also came out with this report in 2021 saying that the mind has largely 27 emotions, which could be, for example, love, peace, hate, joy, excitement, anger, frustration, so on and so forth. And imagine a situation when we want to operate in a particular situation from not from a zone of, let's say, fear, hatred, jealousy, or race, but only from love, peace, and harmony. Then the soul develops the power to pick up a positive emotion in every complex situation that they are in. So this is one of the advantage of being in the spiritual life, where you start seeing your mind from a distance and you feel that you're actually a soul operating inside the body, and you can start managing, controlling, mastering your life as you want. Yeah? Thank you.